Hi guys, it's Vic, and I am coming to you today with a very crucial and important video that I felt was quite important to make. I am going to be soft speaking, so for those of you who enjoy both whispering and soft speaking, hopefully you won't mind that I am going to try to do a bit of both, but when I'm talking about something quite important, it's very hard for me to whisper, if you will. So hopefully you guys are both helped and relaxed by this video, as well as finding some really, really good peace of mind. So I received a message from a girl who suffers from really bad hypochondria and health anxiety. And, this video has nothing to do with my planner. I'm just tapping on this because I really like the sounds. And my nails are getting really long. Being pregnant, I have to keep cutting them. So, I received a message from a girl who suffers with really bad health anxiety and hypochondria. And she knows that I also suffered with it due to my anxiety. So she is seeking some help and advice on the matter. And I feel like it is not only an epidemic, but anxiety, hypochondria, health anxiety, social anxiety, phobias, agoraphobia. I feel that it just affects so many people. And we're kind of all connected, because even though it affects us in many different ways, we are all affected the same way with it, living with very debilitating, crippling issues. So even though we're all different, we're also the same, and vice versa. Okay, so let me start by saying that my health anxiety has gotten better since, believe it or not, I've gotten pregnant. And I believe the reason for that is because my progesterone and estrogen levels increased for pregnancy, which leads me to believe that I possibly had an imbalance in my estrogen levels, which affected my anxiety. So all the women watching, I suggest maybe you get those levels checked if you're not pregnant. And let me just take a little drink. My health anxiety, I don't want to say it's completely gone away, but I think because I am in mama bear mode, it has definitely declined greatly to more just so worrying about my baby's health and obviously the outcome of labor and delivery. So I think I've definitely been distracted with pregnancy, but I have felt much, much more calm and at ease since being pregnant. For some reason, pregnancy has had a great effect on me in that way. And I really believe it's because my estrogen and progesterone levels have risen due to the pregnancy. So I think I probably had an imbalance before. But I'm not a doctor, so take what I say at face value, if you will. So what I'm going to do is I have compiled a small list of about 7 things that I really believe will help you with your hypochondria and health anxiety. And I really, really want you guys, if you suffer from this, to just take a couple deep breaths and replay this video as many times as need be, and maybe take notes of what, like a numbered list of the advice I'm giving, because I really think that it can help you guys a great deal. Okay, so the first thing that I learned to do with my hypochondria and health anxiety was keep busy. And I know that when you are in the middle of a panic attack or complete and utter dismay and worry, and you're very neurotic about, oh my gosh, I know I have a brain tumor, I know I have cancer, I know it, I just know it, I feel like something's wrong, it is very hard to A, stay positive, and it's very hard to B, keep busy, because you're so distracted and consumed by your debilitating fears. So what I did was, in order for me to keep busy, I did things that I knew I would enjoy. Like, for example, reorganizing my DVD rack, as silly as that sounds, or looking online at purses or shoes and making wish lists for myself of things that I wanted to buy. I made a vision board, which I believe I showed in another video, which was of very great help. And it was fun and therapeutic. I bought an adult coloring book. I would watch my favorite shows, even from like childhood, that gave me comfort. I would paint my nails. I would go get a pedicure, a manicure. So anything that would be relaxing to me or really get my mind off of what I was focused on, of what I thought was wrong with me, is what I would do. And I suggest you guys do the same. So that is the first thing on the list. And don't mind me, I'm going to keep taking drinks of my iced tea. Because people with anxiety and hypochondria are more prone to sit around and think in their free time. So keeping busy is my number one suggestion. Number two on the list, which is going to be very, very challenging and very hard, but I promise you that you can do it, is avoid symptom checking on Google, on WebMD, on the computer. And let me give you guys a bit of advice on why this is so important to do in your daily routine. And if you're following along and you're making this list, make this a daily routine. Put it in any order you want and make this a daily routine to help you. Keep it, write it down in a notebook and keep all these things with you in your purse, in your car, wherever you may go. Part of, I think, getting better at anything, whether it's, I never smoked, but quitting to smoke, or a new diet, or going to the gym more, is really sticking with a daily routine, because that's where it all begins, with being organized with that. So when I went through my miscarriage in May, I remember I called the emergency room, and I was so concerned that I had like a disease from my miscarriage. I was just obsessed with it. And the ER doctor that spoke to me on the phone was so very kind. And he said to me, do me a favor. He said, I want you to Google shoulder pain. And I thought, shoulder pain? Why would I Google that? And I did what he said while I was on the phone with him. And he said, now read me the very first thing that comes up on Google with shoulder pain. And I believe it said like bone cancer or something like that. And he said, do you see how ineffective Google is? He said, Google is good for certain things and WebMD is good for certain things. But he said, the internet really will tell you a hypochondriac's nightmare. He said, the internet will tell you the absolute worst thing possible when it could be something so minor. And that kind of really was a wake-up call to me to stop Googling. Just stop. Because the internet, all it does is feed my fear. It's not going to cure me, and it certainly is not going to diagnose me, because Google is not my doctor. It's just the internet. So avoid symptom checking at all cost. And I heard that it takes 21 days to break a habit. Let me tell you, I'm pretty sure I'm 4 months pregnant because I'm 16 weeks. I have not Googled pregnancy symptoms in over 21 days, And I never have the urge anymore to go back on the internet and look, because I know that I have to trust my doctors, not the internet. So avoid symptom checking is number 2. Number 3, read. Read and educate yourself as much as you can. And to help you guys, I have a book that if you can afford it, I'd like you to purchase, which I have read twice. And this is it. It's called From Panic to Power by Lucinda Bassett, author of Life Without Limits. So you could also get Life Without Limits, which is a great book. I have read this book twice. I keep it in my purse, and I'm actually starting it for a third time. It is a wonderful, wonderful book. And she's talking about me in the book to a T, which I think many of you will find. So if you can, go on Amazon or Google or wherever and buy this book today and start reading it. Now, if most of you are like me and you suffer from anxiety or panic, you're going to realize that it's very hard for you at first to concentrate and read. So what I like to do is, before I started getting into reading this book, I would listen to audio on YouTube. Anything helpful I could find on YouTube. Tony Robbins, anything that I thought was beneficial, I would actually watch and listen to audio when on the days where I couldn't read because I was too much of, wound so tightly. So this is the book I recommend to any of you suffering from panic attacks and anxiety and hypochondria, because she had it, and she's just so, there goes my gurgle in my throat again. She's just so spot on about so many things. So number 3 is read and listen to audio. Number 4 is to stick with one good doctor. Now, the reason why this is so important, guys, is because I actually got let go, which is very embarrassing to say, from a doctor's office, because I would call them all the time and ask them to send me for ultrasounds and blood work and physicals and ear exams and eye exams and throat exams and nose exams and foot exams and bone exams. And they actually sent me a letter and said that I had to find a new doctor because I was suffering from hypochondria, and I didn't believe them when they gave me my results that I was fine. So find one doctor that you really, really like, which I did, and I cut my finger. Find one doctor that you really, really like and trust, and stick with them and believe them, and mentally tell yourself a doctor will not lie to you. As hard as it is to believe, I promise you, this is their job, this is their lifeline on the line. They will not lie to you. Number 5, do the things that you avoid, slowly but surely. Don't do it all at once, and don't overwhelm yourself. But number 5 is do the things that you normally would avoid. For me, it was going to the mall by myself, or putting off grocery shopping because there was no windows in the grocery store and I felt very claustrophobic. Going to the movies at night, because I like to go to matinees because I'm so terrified of going to the movies at night because of shootings and things like that. So even though my main anxiety was health anxiety, I had other very neurotic, unrealistic, but kind of realistic fears. If you guys, with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, I became very paranoid of just fearful things like, oh my gosh, what if I go to the bank today and it gets robbed? They're rational fears. I was never paranoid of unrealistic things like aliens coming to eat me, but certain things like, going to the movies at nighttime. And slowly but surely, I started doing what I would avoid. You can probably hear Pepper snoring. Um, you know, I would go to the bank by myself, but I wouldn't go on like a Friday when it was busy. I'd go on a Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Or I would go to a 7 o'clock movie instead of a 9 o'clock movie. I would go to the mall, but I would go in like one store that was closest to the exit, say like Bath and Body Works, and I would be in and out. And that will slowly start to build up your confidence and your likelihood that you're going to realize, okay, I went to the mall, I didn't have a panic attack this time, I can do it again next week. Don't overwhelm yourself. But that's number 5 on the list, is do things in moderation that you normally would avoid, because exposure is the best way to get past your fears. Okay, number 6 is a very, very important one that I still do, even though I'm not really a hypochondriac anymore. I went to Walmart or Target, I can't remember. I bought a little spiral notebook journal. And what I would do every day whenever I was feeling irrational, erratic, neurotic, nervous, that I was dying of cancer or a brain tumor or lymphoma or just anything, I would write down an irrational thought, and then right underneath it, I would write down a rational thought. And what I mean by this as an example is an irrational thought would be, today is the day I'm going to die of cancer. Or today is the day I'm going to pass out in public. And then my rational thought would be, I have been checked several times. I do not have cancer. And knock on wood, I have gone out in public my whole entire life, all 34 years of my existence, without passing out. So it's not going to start today. An irrational thought. I know that this time I feel different and something is really wrong with me. And then a counter-rational thought would be, I have felt this uncomfortability many times before, and I've always been wrong. And it always passes. So in doing that and then rereading my thoughts back, I really got to see on paper how silly I sounded, even though to me it wasn't silly. It was like life or death. But in doing this, it became part of my daily routine, and I kind of retrained my brain, so to speak. So journaling, any way that you see fit, is very important, and I would put that on your list, as well as setting aside time to worry. You could kind of put that like number 6 / journaling and setting aside time to worry. And what I would do is I would say, okay, at 6 o'clock tonight, I'm going to take 20 minutes and I'm going to stress about everything that I could possibly stress about. And once the clock hits 6:15, I'm going to put it away until tomorrow. And I would write certain things down and I would throw them in the garbage. And doing that is kind of cognitive behavior that teaches your brain that what you're thinking is unrealistic and not rational. And you train your brain this great behavior to rewire itself. And the final thing on the list, number 7, is therapy or hypnosis or both. I actually paid like $475 for a hypnosis person to hypnotize me, and I found it very beneficial. Many people in my family said they noticed a difference, that I was a lot more calm, I was a lot more rational, I was a lot more present and in the moment. But it is very expensive and it's not for everybody. So therapy has been a major constant in my life, and I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to say it, because I feel very strongly that talking with a professional, or even doing this with you guys, talking about it, is absolutely helpful because you don't feel alone. So if you can find a therapist that you can afford, or if your insurance may pay for one and all you have to pay is a copay, which is what I did. I found a good one. I don't see her currently now because I am pregnant. I've kind of been taking it easy with this pregnancy just due to, fears that I don't want to overexert myself. So I don't go to her as much, especially because I've been really calm. But seek a therapist. I promise you there's no shame in it, and it's so helpful. The last thing on the list, which I know I said there were 7, but I'm going to add a number 8, is yoga and meditation. Now, I have noticed that in my moments of panic and unbelievable neuroses of believing that I'm really dying, it is very hard to meditate and to relax. So ASMR has also been a constant friend in my life, and so many people I owe thank yous to for helping me relax. I know in my video where I featured my last ASMR artist, Cassie, Calming Escape, her anxiety role plays, helping a friend, have been very helpful and have been able to calm me right down. And she is just one of the many artists that help me, which is what I hope I can do for you guys. I really, really do, because it really just warms my heart and melts my heart to know that I'm helping, even if it's just one person. The joy I feel from knowing that you guys are relaxed by me and that I'm getting through to you and making you feel not alone with your anxiety is huge for me. That's my payoff for, it's not making money on my videos, and I'm not knocking anybody that does, but for me, it's all about really genuinely helping you guys. So yoga has actually been a constant friend in addition to ASMR and meditation. I still have not mastered meditation. I actually kind of suck at it because I can't really relax. I'm just very high octane, high energy kind of person. I think it's the Scorpio in me. But I'm actually looking into getting my yoga instructor license and opening up a small studio because yoga has just been amazing. So we're going to add that to number 8. But yeah, those are the 7 or 8 things that I hope you guys can go back and write down, or if you're following along, you've written down and you will incorporate into your daily routine. And I can't guarantee it, but I promise that if you really put positive energy into the things that I've said and you make them part of your routine, you will probably start to feel better. And it takes time. People with anxiety, as this book describes, want instant gratification because they tend to take 10 steps backwards when they have a bad day. Oh my gosh, I had 4 good days in a row and now I had 2 bad, but that's okay. And I will tell you, to make you feel better, that is not your anxiety, that's called life. It really is. And realizing this was a huge help to me. Knowing that that's not my anxiety, that's just life and it's how it is, really, really helped. So I hope this video helped you guys. And please get this book. She also has many audios out there on Amazon, Google. You can Google search it, Lucinda Bassett audio CDs. I have 2 of them. I have the actual CDs of this that I bring in my car. So don't be alarmed if you get both, and the CDs are very similar to the book. But the book is something for me to do when I'm in the house. And the CDs are something for me to listen to in my car, which calm me right down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I truly hope I've helped you out. And if the one person who sent me the message is listening, in fact, I apologize. I cannot reply to inboxes, and it's killing me that I can't, but something funky is going on with YouTube. So hopefully this soft-spoken video really helped you guys, and I wish you all very peaceful and calm holidays, holiday season ahead, and I keep you all in my thoughts, and I hope this helped, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.